You're on CYInterview.
I'm Chris Shandek. Today on CYInterview, we welcome back Las Vegas headliner Murray the Magician, who will be bringing his show back to the Tropicana Hotel and Casino this week at the Laugh Factory. Murray, thanks for joining us as always on CYInterview. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for having me, and happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy holidays to you and everyone out there who's listening. Tomorrow you'll be returning to the Tropicana Hotel and Casino at the Laugh Factory to bring us some magic. We all could use some more magic in our lives right now of how everything has gone this year. So this year's been very challenging, obviously, for many around the world and many, of course, in the Las Vegas entertainment community. Even with the current restrictions due to COVID-19, what's it going to feel like for you to perform for a live audience again?
It's going to be great. I really can't wait to get back out there and work and perform because that's what I've done all my life, And with the restrictions, yes, it's going to be a little bit different. We can't bring people up on stage. They have to be 25 feet away from the stage, 6 feet apart, separated. But, our main concern is people's safety, second of all, they have a great time. And if you get those two things right, I think the show should be just awesome. So,
do you think it will be both therapeutic for you and the crowd in different ways to have some entertainment in their lives once more?
I think so, 100%. I think therapy in the sense of this is what I've been born to do and spent my whole career doing is entertaining people and taking people out of the real world, of their problems of money and finance and relationships and life and make them forget about things for about an hour. And I think for them it'll get people out of the house and for people just to go do something a little bit normal for an hour and not listen to CNN and not listen to all the drama on the news or online or something like that because it can really get you built up and lose track of reality,
We have heard so many different messages and experiences from the performers of Las Vegas, such as yourself, during this time when most of live entertainment has been halted. What has been your source of positive inspiration to keep you going from the time you've been away from performing for a crowd?
Kind of my thing is I'm always trying to keep myself relevant. That's whether there's a pandemic or not. I've always looked at that, whether it be my career going from live entertainment to reality TV to doing YouTube videos to prank videos to the Facebook world or TikTok. I think this is the same thing. When the world stopped, I ended up going right back to doing my YouTube, 2 or 3 times more than I normally would because that was the outlet I could share my talent with. And then I did a bunch of TV shows remotely where we could either do Zooms or pre-tape stuff at home, send it into the editors, and then they'd make a TV show out of it. So I really just try to keep myself active in that sense. But yeah, you have those days where you're upset, you're frustrated, you wish things would come back and around quicker. But, I've always been a believer, and I've always told people that it's not what happens to us, because crappy things will happen to us in life. We'll lose people, we'll gain work, lose work, but it's how we react is the power that we have to make it positive or negative, and that's super important.
That's absolutely well stated. So speaking about that time away from being in the performing live arena, have you thought about some new tricks, some routines, how you want to change your show up as you begin to perform tomorrow? What are we going to see that we haven't seen before?
Yeah, we've redone most of my routines in the sense of audience participation and also making them, I think some of them we've actually made them stronger just because of the fact that I can't use audience members. I have to use other provers or disprovers as a magician. And when you have somebody helping you in the audience, of course, if they touch something, choose something, whatever the case is, then therefore it's their choice. But if I do it, of course, they think it's a forced choice. So we've kind of learned our different ways around that. And we're kind of excited. I always love doing different things. I know 10 years from now, we're going to look back at this era, and I'll be talking to certain people going, where were you and what were you doing in 2020 when Vegas shut down? And I'll be like, well, I was actually working in Vegas, making it happen, not sitting back and kind of watching it go by. So that's how I look at things,
So for anyone who is visiting Las Vegas during these challenging times, can you kind of just explain for the outsider who doesn't live here and isn't here on a daily basis how much more important it is for them to buy a ticket to a show and support the Las Vegas entertainment community right now?
I think it's super important purchasing a ticket because here's the deal. Where capacities down are really, really low. Our capacity is down to 25 to 50% of the room. So my room normally holds 350. I'd sell between 150, 200 tickets a day, but now we're capped at 50 tickets, no matter what. So even if we sold out every day, when we sell out a show, it's different because you only got 50 tickets. So you're not really selling out a show. You're trying to get the max amount of money to pay your bills and then hopefully not go into debt with 50 tickets. And the nice thing is one-man shows like myself. Of course, I have a guest act in my show. His name's Lefty, phenomenal magician.
Yeah, of course.
We have a very small overhead, whereas shows like Cirque and Blue Man, all these huge production shows, there's no way you can make enough money for that 50-ticket cap. So indirectly, you know, right now I realize I think I'm the only magician performing right now because of my low overhead. And whereas other shows, they unfortunately can't do it, which is a shame because most of them are my friends, you know, and it's nice to see us all working, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So during the coronavirus pandemic, you decided to start a landscaping business. Can you explain to me what that has been like?
Yeah, you know, once again, it's all about being relevant and surviving. And I've done landscaping for over 20 years of my life. All my homes I've done my own, from building fireplaces to ponds to putting in mini pitch and putt golf courses and you name it. And I've helped a lot of my friends. And halfway through the pandemic, somebody said to me, he says, you know, have you been doing a lot of landscaping or gardening? I said, I have. I helped a few of my friends. My sister-in-law house in Arizona, we redid her patio and stuff. And said, you really started a company. I talked to a couple of my buddies and who own companies who do landscaping and said they've never been busier than now in 20 years. And I thought, that's amazing. You work outside. You're not around a lot of people.
Yep.
There's fresh air and it's healthy. And I thought, you know, why don't I start a company? And I talked to my fiancée, Danny, who also is in the shows, you know, Crazy Girls. And she loved that stuff too. And I said, I'm down. Let's do it. So we started a company named Dirt Greens Landscaping. It's something that can keep going for 20 or 30 years because I know what I'm doing. I've done it for years. And so we're lucky. We're doing about 7 to 10 contracts a month, having a great time, and it's just another creative outlet that's completely different than, you know, walking on stage, but yet indirectly similar, you know?
Absolutely. So Murray the Magician will be back at the Tropicana Hotel and Casino starting tomorrow night at the Laugh Factory. Murray, thanks as always for joining us on CYInterview. In closing, tell us about the show, tell us about returning to Las Vegas, and tell them about anything else you'd like them to know at this moment.
Yeah, we're excited to come back on the Strip tomorrow, 4 o'clock. We're doing shows Thursday through Sundays, 4 days a week, 4 o'clock at the Laugh Factory at Tropicana. You know, you can always find all my stuff at murraymagic.com and get tickets there, everything like that. And we look forward to seeing you and everyone else at our show. You know, we're looking forward to performing right through the holidays into next year, and we can't wait to be back on stage.
Well, I'm glad that you're getting a chance to be back, Murray. Thanks so much for being with us on CYInterview. Hang on with me.
For CYInterview, I'm Chris Yandeck.